Yeah, good afternoon, folks out there in YouTube land. This is Mike from What Works For Me Aquariums, bringing you the final update of the season on my Fluval Evo 13.5 nano tank. Everything is rolling right along, not having any further difficulties at this time. There are some things I will point out. First of all, there's some actual new additions to the tank. I'll explain all those in just a second. Just a quick tour. We'll start with the right side of the tank over here. Okay, there. So one of the new additions, as you can see, is, whoops, there we go, is the pipe organ coral right here. Just added that not too long ago. Doing quite well. As you can see, the soft coral, the tree coral, is all growing and doing well. Top center is going to be my green star polyp, which is also really doing well. It's multiplying, spreading across the rock. Started out as 3 discs, and now it's covered a lot of the top of that rock. Right to the left of the bump of green star polyp is my blue star polyp. It's not doing as well as it could or has been in the past. Seems to have diminished a bit. Not sure why. Something I did notice, that the left-hand side of my tank, the flow wasn't very good. So recently I purchased a circulating pump, and we've got it working a little better over there, and that's where some of the coral was sitting. It wasn't doing well, so it may have been a flow issue. Okay, so moving on, immediately to the left of the green star polyp, you'll find my Duncan coral. It's got 4 heads on it, extra heads on it, which I'm pretty impressed with. I'm not sure if that actually can be fragged out. I'm not going to do it. I have a real hard time cutting things like that. But at any rate, there we go. In front of the Duncan, that's Agropora. That Agropora is called Bird's Nest. To the left of the Agropora, there's a small frag of something called Fravia, something. I could be wrong about that title. Below it, you'll find some zoanthids, some brown zoanthids, not real pleased with them. And then, of course, my hammer coral, which is at the bottom of the tank. Everything's moving right along. Everything seems pretty happy. The flow, I guess, is now where it needs to be. I'm not having any issues. My nitrate is 0. My phosphate is 0. Glad to report. Now, there's one thing I have been having just a tiny bit of problems with, and this you may advise me. Kindly leave a comment. I have my magnesium level is at 1500 or better most of the time. After a water change, it dropped down to about 1440. Now, everything I seem to find on the internet indicates that it should be between 700 and 1300, 1200, something like that. I'm told that high magnesium can be damaging to coral, cause bleaching and so forth and so on. Now, I'm not seeing that, okay? So I'm going to leave that up to the good folks out there that watch my videos to advise me. Do you think that's too high? So I called my local fish store, and they said the higher the better. That $1,500 was perfect. There was a good level for magnesium. Now, again, some of the information I'm getting is it's too high, but they said no. Now, I'm going to call some other aquarium shops when I get a minute and see what they recommend. This is, I guess, one of those going to be those things that, you know, it's debatable, because some people say one thing and some people say the other. So, as it stands right now, that's the magnesium issue. There are 2 other small things I noted in the last video. The pineapple coral, it's spread all over the tank. It's underneath or on the undersides of rocks. I'm enjoying it. There's nothing wrong with that. And as I mentioned in the last video, I am developing a form of algae of some kind. It's really slow growing for algae, which I thought was odd. So I'm going to rule out hair algae. I don't believe that's what it is. I've had hair algae in aquariums before, both in fresh and salt, and they grow. It's like practically overnight. It can take over the whole tank. Now, I was told, and 2 of you left comments, and I want to say how much I appreciate those who commented and left me a message. And one mentioned something called bryopsis. Bryopsis is sort of a hair algae, but it's got a heavier structure. It's not moss-like. You can see pictures of it anywhere on the internet, and I'm told that it can possibly overrun the entire tank. The good news is you can get rid of it. The bad news is I can't necessarily find anything natural that will get rid of it. I'm told that nothing eats it. So getting a scavenger of some kind or other to eat the algae is just not something it's not going to happen. However, there is something called reef flux. I happen to have a bottle of it. And if I should decide to try and kill it off, that's supposed to be the way to do it. Now, someone else sent me a message saying that they thought it could be something called, I'm going to try and pronounce this, it's Cladophophorpis, Cladomorphus, I guess. I may be pronouncing it wrong. Now, it is a similar kind of algae as well, long strands. However, my impression is that nothing will get rid of it. No chemical, no animal, nothing. And if it's growing as slow as it's growing in my tank, I'm not terribly worried. But that is an issue that I am dealing with, okay? And where it could have come from, I don't know. The last thing it might be, and I don't know if this is even possible or not, is I tried some Chetamorpha in the sump. And it did not last. It didn't live in the sump. I don't know if I had the wrong lighting or whatever the situation was. But it just went away. But maybe this is an outbreak of Chetamorpha. I'm not certain. Right now, it's just too small to tell. It's just a little bushy tuft. So I've only got 4 or 5 of them. They're just in various places around the rock. None on the right side of the tank at all. Most of it's on the left where the bird's nest coral is. So that is what's going on in the aquarium right now. I keep my aquarium at about 80 degrees. I guess I haven't really talked about some of the parameters. I keep my aquarium at about 80 degrees. pH runs about 8 most of the time. And alkalinity, before a water change, could drop as low as 7, which is too low. And but if I do a water change, it goes up back up to about 8. Now, whether it is reasonable or not to have as much magnesium as I have in the tank, I don't know. Calcium, by the way, is at a good level. I think it's like 480. And so, like I said, I'm undetermined about the magnesium thing. But a suggestion was made. What I use for salt is reef crystals by Instant Ocean, which provides most of those trace elements, including magnesium. So the suggestion was to get regular Instant Ocean that doesn't have all the trace elements in it and use that to control it down. So I probably have to do some sort of dosing at some point, maybe. I don't know. At any rate, I'd love to hear your opinion. Leave me a comment again. Let me know what you think. Something else that occurred to me is maybe I should mix Instant Ocean regular sea salt with reef crystals and get a lesser content of magnesium or the various trace elements. What do you think? Let me know. I'd love to hear comments. Comments. I love them. So you guys let me know what you're thinking. First, I want to shout out. We've got a couple of new subscribers. I'm at 95 subscribers right now. Again, I'm not here to make money off this. I'm not trying to get monetized or anything like that. I'm just having a good time playing with my aquarium and sharing it with all of you. As you may note, I've got coral and algae growing all over the glass. I can't wait till it starts spreading all the rock. And I'm looking forward to what happens in the next few months. The tank will, of course, be maintained, but I just won't be here to make a video. So, folks, if you've liked my video, click like, subscribe, please, if you care to, and come back and see me again. Comments, please. Kindly remember that any negative comments or anything that's inappropriate will be simply removed. We appreciate your patronage. Love you, have you watching me. Take a look at what's going on in my tank, and again, kindly comment. Thank you very much, and we'll have a good summer.